In the busy city of Taichung, Taiwan, a young musician began her journey with just her viola and a dream. Motivated by her passion, Jing-Huey Wei moved to Boston to study at Boston University. There, she earned her master's degree and learned from Stephen Ansell, the lead violist of the Boston Symphony. Not long after, she settled in Arlington, Massachusetts. Since 1999, Jing-Huey has inspired more than 2,000 string students in Arlington Public Schools. As orchestra director and now performing arts director, she has led many concerts, showing that music is more than just mere performance. It shapes lives, brings people together, and stimulates creativity. Today, Jing-Huey plays with the Vista Philharmonic Orchestra and other chamber groups. As a dedicated teacher, she continues to help each student find and share their unique voice through the arts. Join us now as we talk with this inspiring woman whose passion connects people of all ages.
My name is Jing-Huey Wei, and I'm the proud performing arts director for Arlington Public Schools. I became the director 4 years ago, and before that, I was the string orchestra teacher for grade 3 to grade 8. So I came to Arlington actually in 1999 as a private lesson teacher. Dr. Tassoni asked me if I would join the team to teach private lessons. At that time, I remember our orchestra, string orchestra, was rather small, and it was growing. It started to grow, but we had not even 60 students in grade 6, 7, 8 orchestra. Now we have almost 200 students in grade 6, 7, 8 orchestra. That's how much the program has grown. That's part of the program. And band program is similar, and chorus program is getting so much bigger. When I first came, we had an in-school grade 4, grade 5 chorus, but due to some budget issue over the past 23 years, as we all know, Arlington has gone through some tough times, and we are facing one again upcoming. We eliminated the in-school chorus program. So for a long time, there was no chorus in elementary level. We had one triple chorus, and that was an after-school chorus. And many family might not be able to participate because it was doing after school and not in their own school. But now we have a chorus in individual school. All elementary school, 7 elementary school, all got their own chorus. There's still after-school program, but at least the students can stay in school to participate in chorus. And that started 4 years ago. When I became a director, that got established. I'm very lucky that was established. But this shows how much the school system in the town supports the music program. And from when we started 4 years ago, each school got maybe 20 students signed up because it's a new thing. Now they're up to 80 kids. Within 4 years, has grown so much just for the chorus program. The growth, I would say people understand the importance of music and performing arts in our daily life. And also the performing arts teams provide such a joyful learning experience and safe learning space for all. But all that, we also provide very rigorous programming. The students get to sing different rap from different genre. For example, our high school chorus, they sang 17 languages last year. They were all very proud of that. I was born in Taiwan. When I was born, Taiwan, the economy is doing great. So just about every other household were able to provide piano lessons for their children. And I was very lucky to be one of them. Actually, my older sister was the one learning piano. I was much younger. I was 5 or 6. My sister was in 4th grade. So my parents thought I was too young to start. So they hired a piano teacher to teach my sister. Unfortunately, she wasn't very, very interested. Yeah, she loves music. She still does. But I was mocking the lessons. We had a pedal organ. It doesn't make sense. So when they were in their piano lessons, I was pretending I was playing as well. So my parents spotted that my interest for music. So I started piano lesson when I was 6. And from there, I did not remember being super excited about music, but just it became my daily routine. I needed to practice, and I would go to my piano lesson and play some music I like, I enjoy. It became part of my life. But I want to point out that I was in public school. We did not have instrumental lessons. We had general music. I had to take private lessons outside of school, and it was with my elementary school music teacher. And then I was very lucky. I auditioned for a music school when I was entering middle school. I was selected one of the 100 students out of thousands auditioned for the music school. So that kind of was my career path, and I started taking my daily routine in school. I had building practice time. I had year training, sight singing, music history, music theory classes, orchestra classes, chorus classes. But that was a private school, and my parents actually barely could afford for me to be in that school. And so just think about a 12-year-old me started getting excited and passionate about music. I had to go through the audition process and to get enrolled in a private school instead of doing this in public school. So when I came to this country, when I started teaching in Arlington, I was so proud and excited and feeling the opportunity. What a wonderful opportunity we have in Arlington to be able to provide music education, like instrumental music, band, chorus, orchestra subjects in public schools. And I want that to continue, and I hope we can continue that to provide this programming for our students. And it really takes a collaborative effort for the entire town to do this. Yeah, we all say it takes a village to raise a child, and I think that really is a true statement. And we all know Arlingtonians are very proud of our performing art program, and I think all Arlingtonians have contributed to this success. I find that gender, in my eyes, really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you treat your job, how you look at the work you do. And ever since I became a teacher, I have to be honest, when I first became a teacher, I was still in the performance mode, because I graduated from BU as a viola performance degree. Mm-hmm. I was freelancing. I was playing in many orchestras and in Greater Boston area. And when Dr. Tassoni asked me to teach, and then the job kind of fell on my shoulder because previous director departed from this program. And Dr. Tassoni knew at that point I had started working with beginner classes, grade 3 strings. So he asked me if I would just, at least temporarily, taken over the entire string program from grade 3 to 8. I remember at that point, I was thinking, sure, I'll do it for maybe a year. This may not be my thing, because I went to school to become a performer, not an educator. However, I really grew to enjoy the work I do day by day, because it was so rewarding to share my passion with students. I remember first time I conducted the orchestra, I stood in front of them, And they were listening to me. They were following my direction, accepting my recommendation in terms of music, musicianship, in terms of musicality. I was thinking, wow, I'm actually doing something to share my knowledge, share my passion with some young musicians who could eventually become not necessarily a musician, but really appreciate music in this world, and that's what we need. So yeah, that's how I am. I became a teacher. I really want to try to encourage the team to explore all diverse genre and cultures. So in performing arts, we have a program called Musicians of the Month in elementary level. So our mission for implementing that program is to widen our students' horizon, for them to understand there are more than just European dominant band, chorus, orchestra type of music. We have music, we introduce music from India, from China, from Brazil, all different places. Yeah. I was very lucky to receive a grant from Arlington Education Foundation to host Multicultural concert series. Wow. So with that grant, I was able to bring a Cuban band from Cuba. Wow. And they did a workshop with our high school students, demonstrated instruments, talk about their history, and they provided a community a concert, collaborated with our high school jazz band. And then I also invited, with the same grant, I was able to invite a Chinese instrumental ensemble to come to high school. Same thing, offer a workshop. And that was really interesting because, as we all know, nowadays kids would be on their phone or not paying attention sometimes. But that workshop was even included, the high school teachers were noticing students really got drawn into the instrument, got drawn into the sound of different instruments, traditional Chinese instruments, and also to the historical background about how the 6,000 years of music evolved, and then they're really witnessing a difference, something they don't see every day. So then, same thing, that Chinese ensemble collaborated with our symphonic orchestra and offer a community concert. But I know when the school established back in 1914, we already have the performing art program. Mm-hmm. I actually have a really funny story about this. This past winter break, I was able to visit one of my husband's cousin, and he shared a report card of my mother-in-law who went to Artisan in the 8th grade. And back then, that was 1930 something. She got music in her report card, right? And we all know Ellen Hovanes, one of the greatest 20th century composer, grew up in Arlington. So I know we have a real wonderful music program, yeah, in the past, in our history, yeah. When I was still conducting the 8th grade orchestra, 7th grade Artisan orchestra, we did a piece by Hovanes. And that was when we celebrate 100 years of Artisan, 100 years. And I wanted to feature, a proud history of Arlington. So I programmed Alan Hovanes' piece, string piece, for our students. And they were so excited to know that this famous composer were in their school and doing what they did, what they were doing, and did what they love about playing music, compose music. Yeah. So very fortunate to be working at a town that embraces performing arts. I can speak for the students I encountered. I have a professional cellist who lives in Spain now, playing music, playing in orchestra. A violinist is in San Francisco freelancing. We have quite a few jazz musicians now in Nashville making music, playing in professional studios, recording. They actually, if you get a chance to come to the Bejazzle biannually Bejazzle, they often come back to this exact stage to celebrate their success with the younger generation. One of my students who I had as a grade 3 student, she wasn't very successful in my class because I think she certainly was restricted in some fine motor issues, and also she was adopted child from China, and I remember conversing with her parents. There were some trauma in her early childhood, so I remember her being my program and not quite getting the violin. However, and I thought she would quit. I really thought after students sometimes experience the first year and they would stop playing or switch to a different instrument. But the following year, she came back for 4th grade. And I started seeing the light in her, and she persevered through all her challenges, really determined to become a better and better string player. At the end of her career here in Arlington High School, not only she was an honors orchestra student in Arlington High School, she got selected to be in Boston Youth Symphony Orchestra member. She is now working, not in music industry, but she still plays. She emails me, contacts me, send me a text message of her violin. And this way I opened my case today again to practice. I am just really proud of her, and that's what is so rewarding for me as a teacher. Don't give up. I do not like to give up, and certainly give up on student success. And I feel like there is always it's a place for everyone in the world to create music, to enjoy music. I want to share that recently the program I was talking about, Musicians of the Month, that we implemented in the elementary K-5 music. The Musician of the Month this month is called Flame the Band. The band members in this band all have some kind of disability, autism, blindness, paralysis. So when we introduced this unit, this group to our students, I've heard amazing conversations among students. But what we end up talking about, not only just we want students to understand, empower them to think about everyone can do music, but we want them to think about, instead of focusing on disabilities, but think about their ability, what they can do. And it is not just about music, it's about everything. What is your ability that you can contribute to the world? And also empower yourself to influence others. And I also want my students to remember that. They can be strong. They can have that power to influence. And through music, through performing arts, that's very powerful. So we always talk about music is a world language. You know, music is a language that everybody can communicate with. However, I still feel it is important work to do what Hovhannes did, to research and bring music from our culture to our community. The sentence music world language is true statement, but if we don't understand our culture, we cannot make that a true statement. We cannot make that to come to life.
In the end, music is far more than just notes on a page. It is a universal language that transcends boundaries, bridges cultures, and resonates with the core of our shared human experience. Through music, we learn resilience, empathy, and joy, lessons that echo throughout our lives and bind us together. Jing-Huey Wei's remarkable journey reminds us that by embracing diverse traditions and nurturing a spirit of lifelong learning, we can inspire not only ourselves but also generations to come. Her dedication has enriched a community that has cherished the performing arts for over a century, leaving a lasting legacy of creativity and unity. Stay tuned. Our journey is just beginning. Many hidden gems await discovery at Arlington High School and throughout our vibrant community. Together, let's seek them out, celebrate their stories, and ensure that their music continues to inspire future generations. Thank you for being part of this celebration. As the final notes fade, remember, the music lives on in every heart it touches and in every story yet to unfold.